Yeah, and we're live. Hey, welcome, drummer, to one more drum live class. I am here live with you all the way from Los Angeles, California, and my thoughts and my desire with this class is to help you become a better drummer. And today's video is actually very important because we are starting a new series called CCM Drum Master, where I'm going to teach you some grooves, fills, some mindset tips on how to become a better worship drummer. If you are a church drummer, you are in the right place. But if you're not a church drummer, you are also in the right place because even if you don't play this style, is also really beneficial for you to learn it because it has a lot of nuance that will make you a better drummer regardless what genre you play. All right. And my desire to do this class is to help people and in a regular basis because sometimes with the business of playing and recording and studying and everything, sometimes I was like, I need to be in contact with drummers to know what's going on and how we can do to help each other, right? So, and today's topic is going to be build. This is something that people don't really talk about lately. I don't really see many drummers teaching and talking about it. And this I find it extremely important for you as a drummer to dominate this style and this part of the CCM drumming because at least let me say 99% of songs and CCM that we play, at least at least once we play this build. And it's very important for you to learn dominate that. And because like what is build? Well, I'm gonna show you what it is right now. There we go. And this is what build is. And that's what build is at. Okay, so hold on, y'all. I'm here live. I think the audio is probably clipping a little bit. Hey. Okay, is it better? All right. So I want to address you that's watching this video on demand first. So if you're watching this and it's not right now live on YouTube, so you are also welcome here every Monday night at 7:30 p.m. I have a commitment with you to be here. And so you can drop your comments on our on the chat, and then later on I'm gonna respond to you. And then if it is something relevant to what we're talking about, I might have even record a video or a next live stream based on what the questions that you sent. But for you that's here live, man, I'm so happy that you're here. Thank you so much for joining us. And drop your comments on the chat and where you're from. We can start with to know where you're talking from, and what instrument do you play, and how long you've been here. I would like this to be as if it was a classroom where you guys will be sitting here so you can talk to each other on the chat. Please don't fight. But talk about drums and comment and leave your questions. And in the end, after I'm done with the content, I'm gonna address all the questions, and we're gonna be able to talk and chat a little bit. So stay with me um, for a few minutes, and we're gonna be back here with the questions. All right. So all right. So let's start the content. And I did not connect my MacBook. Hold on. You see, it's live. Uh, there we go. Right. There we go. Let's start with how what is what is a build? I just showed you in practice what that is, but I'm gonna share a story that happened to me recently. As you know, as most of you know, I'm the music director here at the church, and we were playing a song, and it was in a high dynamic, and then I called the shot. Hey, let's build to go to the next section, and we did it. Blah blah. Blah. After the one of the worship leaders came to me and asked, "Hey, Kesley, why do you asked us to build if the dynamic was already high?" I was like, "Wow, that's interesting that you're asking it." Um, and then I had to explain to him what a build is. Number one, yes, is to transition dynamics. The name is clear. You build from one dynamic to the other. But there's also this other part where people often don't talk about, which is to transition sections. Think this as if it was um, a drum fill. Okay, guys, tell me how is the audio? If the audio is good here for you, okay? Um, think as if it was a drum fill. Like sorry, a band fill. Everybody playing together, everybody hitting together, and um, so yeah, so that I had to explain that to him, and then but what it meant, what it why transition to one section to the other? Because sometimes we are hold on, let me put this down. Because sometimes we are already in a high section of the high dynamic part of the the song, but we wanna still go to another side. That happens pretty often, not all the time. Usually, when you do build, usually you're doing the in the bit and the bridge, and like, coming from a low dynamic to a high dynamic. But sometimes that happens. So just so you know, and let's read it. What is how can we play the build? So here's the chart, and by the way, you can have access to those slides that I'm showing you. There's a link on the description with the resources, Kesley Ray's resources. Click on the link and sign up for my newsletter, and now I'll give you all the resources I provide in every video, regardless if it is a drum cover. I usually write down my the transcription for songs, so I'll be uploading the charts and some backing tracks and some resources that I utilize for myself. I'm gonna make it available for you for free. Okay, that's a gift. I did not have that growing up and learning drums. So just sign up for my newsletter, and where I'm not. I promise you, I'm not gonna be bombarding you with spams. I will just be updating you with new things that's coming up, or new content that's coming up, things like this. Okay, so yeah, so click on the link in the description and sign up for my newsletter so I can send you all these slides that you're gonna be seeing here today in the lesson. So as you can see, we usually start the build in a quarter note. For those who don't know what quarter note is usually hitting one hits per beat, right? And that's how it sounds. you can play on the toms on the four tom as well. Usually when you're playing bridges, usually you're doing on the four tom like this. But also this the quarter notes can be your bass, your reference, but then you can play, you can also fill the gaps with some fills, some other notes and some other hits on the high tom. Like for example, I'm still utilize the quarter notes as oh, sorry, I'm still utilize the quarter notes as my reference, as my bass, but I'm filling out with some other fills on the toms and as well on the floor tom. You can also you add the snare on the four, the beat four, so that can add uh, like a drive as well for the section. So then now you can now is the eighth note. Usually it starts in the usually when you're doing a build, you play either one bar with each dynamics or usually four bars. Usually you use one dynamic for the whole section. So and then after you finished playing the quarter notes foundation, so now you're gonna add the eighth note. What is the eighth note, Kesley? As the difference is that the eighth notes you're playing two hits per hand. Oh, per hand, no, per beat. All right, two hits per beat. So the quarter notes is one, two, and the eighth note is two per beat. So one, two, three, four. So this is how it's going to sound. You there are two ways to do it. I'm going to show in the chart. Look, as you can see, there are one that you're doing your snare and your kick and your floor tom. You're doing on the downbeat, and what is actually dub on it is the ghost notes on the snare. So this is how it sounds. In this one, you usually utilize the rides as well as a con, the conduction of it, rather than the floor tom. It depends. It varies from song to song, but usually the quarter note the first time I do here on the usually the snare and the floor tom, but then the second section I go to the ride. I'm gonna show you in the song how what the difference. So and then and as you can see the line number three, so then it is all the eighth notes being in the accent. So it can be either here or you can utilize, um, like I said, on the second line, which is a quarter notes bass, but with the ghost notes on eighth notes. So now I'm so now I'm gonna show you what is the difference, because it sounds a little bit, what is the word? Forgot. A little bit abstract, but it makes sense when I put together the first and the second section. Look, check it out. First section. One, two, three. Second section. Four. Did you see the difference? Did you see it? How even if you are using, continue to use the quarter notes foundation, but if you add one ghost notes on the snare, already you are already bring the dynamic up. So let me show you one more time. Or you can use the tom, the filling out with the songs. Remember? I love the sound of these drums. So now let's go to the number three. The number three now, the line number four, which is the on the 16th note. Here is usually the highest part of the build, right? When you are already almost going to finish that progression and going to maybe in the chorus. Usually this stuff happens in the bridges, and the 16th note, as you probably figured out, instead of you hitting two beats hits per beat, now we're gonna hit four hits per beat. So one, one, two, three, four. One, two, three, four. All right. So let me show you how it sounds. By the way, hey Brent, CT, what's up, y'all? By the way, Brent, thank you for the snare, bro. Welcome, guys. I'm seeing some of the comments. Yeah, let's get it. Let's get it. All right, let me play the for you. Let's start. Let's start by the first one, the first progression. Now I'm gonna I'm gonna do one more time, and I'll play 4 bars for each one of the sections. Which one? Oops, hold on. Let me put back. All right, y'all. I'm doing live, and I'm doing by myself. I'm kicking the ball, going kick to the goal, and run to the goal and catching at the ball. You know what I'm saying? All right. I'm gonna play 4 times each one of those bars, so you can see the difference between one each one of them. All right, this is so fun, man. Playing the builds, oh, it's one of my favorite parts of the songs. And let me play one more time. Now that you have a better understanding on what we are doing, let me play the song, and now you're gonna understand a little bit better what I'm doing, what I'm playing, so you can practice on your own as well. This song that I'm playing is called "We Praise You." I'm gonna I'm gonna leave I'm gonna make a folder for our class here from today, and I'll drop in that link that I sent you for the description for the resources, and I'm gonna have all this audio there so you can practice your builds. Okay, so let's go. So I hope you understood it. Let me see if there's any questions. All right, all right, all right. So now we are going to the second meaning of the word build, which is to transition sections. You can utilize it as a band fill. But what is the difference? What you can do on the drums to to separate it from the dynamics that we were doing before for the band transition, the band fill? What is the difference? It's not really a huge difference, But what you can do, you can play around the dynamics, so you can sort of fake it that you're doing a build dynamic wise, but actually you are adding a flavor to it. For instance, when you're playing, you are already coming from a high chorus, for instance, going to another bridge, and then the whole band is going to do a build, but build to air where if you are already in a high dynamic, so you can do a first note as a big hit, and then play around with the dynamics, going low, going back, but pushing it back a little bit, and then moving forward with the dynamics. So this is how it would look like in the chart. As you can see, there's an accent on the first eighth note, and then there's a decrescendo and do a crescendo. This is how it sounds. Better for me to explain you play so you can understand it better than just talk about it. So you are in a big dynamic, right? In the big chorus. Let me do that again. As you could tell, I was in the high dynamic, so there's nowhere to grow. So what you can do, push down, bring down the dynamic, and then bring back up. So let me do that again. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But you can also do some fills. So we're gonna learn some fills that you can add before you start the build. This is really fun. So here's the first fill we're gonna learn on the bar 5. This is very simple. So you're playing here. Okay. All right. So let me play that. Let me play that again for you. This one is really helpful for both situations when you do a transition in between dynamics and when you're doing transition between sections. I'm gonna show you when you're playing a high dynamic and you can utilize this fill, and it will also help you to bring the dynamic down and then bring back up again. Right? So that's how it goes. Now let's do the field that I love. I love. I love on the bar on the bar 7. You can see it. We are. This is a field to finish the build. So in this case, we are exiting from the build to to the groove, and this is very helpful. Let me show you. And a small detail in this build, in this field, is that I'm utilizing the flam rudiment. For those who don't know what flam is when you play these notes. Dang, this snare has sounds like a freaking gun. Bah, bah. So yeah, so this field you're coming you're playing the 60 notes, da 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 blah, right? So let me show you. So da 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 the plaku plaku boom, right? So let me show you for you. Really, really nice. So that helps you to when you're doing the build, because it's usually da 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 da, and then it gives you a time to actually breathe. Da, 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 the black black, psh, so you can go back to the groove solid. One tip I give you, drummer, when you're doing the build, listen to the metronome, because that happens here in the church a lot. When we're doing the build, I'm trying to hold it together because I'm on the drums, so it helps. But the other instrumentalists, the other band member, some of the other band members, they get anxious because the build is like dun, 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 and sometimes you can get anxious and you speed it up. And if you speed it up and you're playing with the tracks, man, it's a no. It's horrible. You're gonna throw everybody out of the bus, you know. So whenever you're playing the build, listen to the click, and don't get anxious, don't get like overexcited, and you that will make you speed it up, okay. So let me play those fills in a context of a song, okay, the song that we were playing before. I'm gonna play the fill to start the build, as you can tell, and the fill to finish the build, okay. So you're gonna see it. Man, I feel like a DJ here pressing the buttons. this is a a faster song. So when you're playing fast songs, is a um, little bit more challenging to play those, especially the feel coming off of the bridge, right? Coming off of the build with the flam, black, black, doom. Those are usually when you're playing as lower song, so you can utilize that one. Now I'm gonna give you a bonus fill. This is a field that you usually do. One is a little bit more advanced, and you play that to start the field as well. This is how it sounds. I'm gonna play that is lower for you. You can either you can either do uh, ba, ba, da, ba, or you can play um, two hits on the tom as well. Or so coming from the groove, that's how it's going to sound like. All right, my drummer. I hope you enjoyed this class. So as I told you, let me see if there's a comment. If as I told you, we are gonna be here every Monday night at 7:30 p.m. We're gonna be here live and answering your questions. And this was the very first lesson from this new series, and we'll continue to have more lessons. And so, if you want to learn more of like CCM, if you want to act completely dominated, CCM is I'm giving you the fish already cooked, already with grilled, with season on the taco. You're just giving it to you, and then you go and eat it. But the real importance of it is for you to really understand the foundations of it. Why we play what we play, why we play build, for what reason we do this. Who invented the builds on drums? Who invented the tribal um, um, patterns on the toms? So there is a reason for that. Somebody invented it. Somebody dominated it. So that's why I think it is important for you to understand it, because and then if you understand the if you learn the roots of of the CCM, you can apply the same methodology to other genres, and that's why I created the SSD. I don't know if you had a situation where you had to learn many different genres at the same time. Well, I as a session drummer, I've had to do this my entire life, and I've had to learn one day samba, another day rock and roll, and the other day jazz, and then on Sunday morning playing at church, and not really having time to really dig into it. And there's a false belief that people say, "Oh my God, you can learn Cuban music unless you are from Cuba, unless you grew up there." That's not true. I, my English is not the best, but English is not my first language either. And I'm here communicating with you and teaching you something. And I read the comments, and you guys are talking to me and understand. And then we have this communication. So music is communication. So all over the years, um, because of the need I had to learn many genres as this at the same time, I started to realize that the process of learning the genres are actually the same. Is actually the same. You It's like talking. you know so then I developed this methodology where you understand the concept of learning a rhythm, and you apply for any rhythm you want. You want to learn Brazilian rhythm, just apply that methodology, and then you're going to be able to learn Brazilian music. You want to learn jazz, apply that, you learn jazz. You learn anything you want. It's not easy, but there's a pathway for you to to go. And I already cut all the grass, so you can already go and walk into the path. Okay, so if you want to learn how to dominate any genre on drums, the link is in the description. It's called SSD, Smart Solid Drummer. Why is smart solid drummer? Because you gotta be smarter. You're gonna play smart. You don't have a lot of time to learn songs and learn a new genre, so you gotta play smart. So that's why I cut all the bluff, and then I gave you the straight content in how you can dominate any genre you want. Also, I spoke about some flams and some other rhythms, and then you hear me on my in my channel talking about a lot of rudiments. Rudiments are very important for drums, and then that's why I created the Hands on Fire course. This is a course that you're gonna learn all the essential rudiments, and not only learning those rudiments, because anybody can teach you that, but the secret is how you can apply those rudiments on the drums in real scenarios, right? So in that method, in that course I teach you, is extremely affordable. I made it in a way so you can have access to it and you can transform your drumming. So the link is also in the description. Check it out. And if you are new here, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here with us. Drop your questions, and I'll be replying to you. And come back next Monday night. We'll be here again, and we'll do another lesson on CCM drumming. Okay, so thank you so much for being here. I see you